Hello, everybody. I am Christina Brady with Sales Assembly. We have partnered with our incredible friends at Sales Hacker to feature the aha moments of the top female icons in tech. Today is no exception. I am very excited to be here with Shannon. She comes from a long history of leadership and training at Google and making an impact on so many different people's lives. I can't wait to hear what your big impact or aha moment has been. But first and foremost, Shannon, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Christina. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, tell us just a little bit about you, kind of your professional journey, how you got where you are right now as the Director of Global Skills and Onboarding Lead at Google.
Yeah, so I've been at Google for almost 10 years now. It'll be a 10-year anniversary on July 11th, which has been just a phenomenal journey. And prior to that was at multiple different large corporate companies and some small family-owned businesses prior to coming to Google, mainly in the sales field. So managed and was a seller for 20 plus years. And in the last 3 years, I've been able to take on kind of flipping that role and saying, how would I actually train 15,000 plus sellers at Google and some of those core capabilities and skills that I've been leveraging for the past 20 years. So been just a eclectic, odd, amazing journey to get to where I am today, but super thankful in general.
I mean, I feel like there could be an entire longer episode just around transitioning from being in a small business to being, I mean, when you say that, like 15,000 people at Google, how do we train all of them? I'm like, good luck. Yeah, luckily they have the right person in place, but you couldn't have done that without a few aha moments. So will you share one with us?
Yeah, one of them that I've been reflecting on quite a bit lately, actually it's Career Development Month right now at Google. And I was recently telling the story about one of my aha moments as a mom, as a woman leader at Google. I was actually approaching a career conversation with one of what I consider one of my mentors at the time. She was actually my manager. And I was leading this global business and this global sales team and new into the role. So it just kind of probably 6 months to a year in. And I was preparing for my career development conversation. And of course, I did all the things. I had it all mapped out. Like, here, like what I really love. Here's my inner training. Here's my skills. Here's how I'd like to improve. In the meantime, also, I had two small younger girls, too, who are now 9 and 11, getting bigger. But this was 6 years ago. So kind of like juggling it all. And really excited about this opportunity that I feel like she gave to run this global sales team, which felt like a bit of a stretch for me at the time. So I entered into the conversation, sat down, and I had my what we call pivot training, like ready down. And I'm like, okay, I put it all together. Here's my PDP plan. And I'm excited to talk you through it. And she was like, can we hold on that for a second? And she kind of just felt my energy in the room. And not to mention, obviously, I work with her all the time. So she probably had been seeing kind of how I've been showing up as of late. And she's like, I'd actually like you to put the paper down for a second. And I actually really want to understand how you're doing. And I kind of was just like looking at her. And she's like, because I'm feeling a bit that you're stretched in a bunch of different ways. And I just started crying. Like literally tears just started falling. It was like a question that she posed in a different way to kind of put me in my heels. And she's like, you as a person, like, how are you doing? And I couldn't actually, when you feel like you're about to cry and you feel that like on the back of your throat, in your stomach, whatever you feel, and you're trying to not speak words that then start to be like the ugly cry. That was kind of the moment I was happening. Because what she recognized is she's like, actually, like, I'm really concerned about how you're burning the candle on multiple ends. And I want you to like sit down and think about like, how are you feeling truly right now as a leader, as a mom, as a wife, as a sister and a friend. And it led to such a different conversation that I had prepared to talk about in that moment. And what it led to actually was like giving me time to reflect. How can I actually achieve all the things that I want to achieve in all different aspects of my life? In realizing actually, I can have it all. I can't have it all at once. And that's okay, actually. So it was starting to actually give me a moment to say, how often can I reflect? I was a doer. I'm a people pleaser. People ask me to do things. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And I figure it out, probably to the detriment of who I was in some of these different roles, right? And so actually one of the things that we came out of that conversation with is she's like, actually, I want you to track how many things you actually say no to for the next 6 months. And she said, I think, and I'd love to review them with you on a monthly basis. And this is inclusive of every part of your world. So as a mom, as a wife, as a leader, as a community member, because I also tend to get involved in community work. She's like, I actually want you to start to track not what you're going to do, but actually what you've said no to. And then how you've reinvested that time into something that when you write down what are those top 5 priorities, are you in reinvesting it? And what are those 3 to 5 priorities are? So it was one of the most meaningful conversations as a leader that I've ever had from another manager or mentor, because she stopped me in my tracks. I had all the emotion. I let the emotion go in that moment. And then she gave me like a very structured thing that felt so different from what any other leader had given me. And what she gave me was a gift of reflection. And then to actually put that a part of my day-to-day work and to follow up and drive some accountability on reflection will then like clearly correlate back to, am I living out my priorities and the values in the way that I want? And I'm putting myself at a part of one of those priorities, and also realizing, more importantly, like I can achieve all the things that I laid out in that PDP plan for sure. But like, do I need to do it within the timeframes that I have in my made up mind? And is that really living out some of the values that I speak that I want as a leader and as a mom and a wife and a friend? So that just kind of sticks out as one of the most meaningful conversations that I had, and really truly step changed the way I approach things as a leader, a mom, etc. And also changes the way as a leader, I am really starting to be more in tune to what are they not saying? Mm-hmm. And what am I seeing as signals that maybe the conversation has to be a little bit different than, what is your next 3 to 5 years of need and want in your career? So that one definitely sticks out.
I mean, I can see why. For one, that sounds like an absolutely incredible leader. And I say all the time that the job of leadership is not to necessarily make better employees, but to make a full breath of a person, and to help people be better people in every aspect of their life. And then you will see it at work. And my favorite part of what you said, to summarize such a beautiful story and such an honest story, is just, we get asked as women all the time, like, how do you have it all? Is it possible? Mm-hmm. And you even gave me a light bulb of you can have it all. It doesn't have to be all at once, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that needs to be the new narrative of keeping in mind that having it all doesn't mean you have everything this moment. It means you've got a journey, walk it. It's okay. It'll all be there, Exactly. So this was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful moment with us. And to everybody listening, thank you for visiting again here in our aha moments. Shannon, thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
So long, everybody.